YouTube for some good old Friday night Truck Series action here as we are getting ready for the Truck Series regular season finale. Hey, Brother Ball, how's it going? All right, we are here. We are ready for this one. As they already got to go, Corey Heim would love to see another win from him. Of course, the focus tonight not necessarily going to be on Corey Heim and those guys who have already gotten wins, but the action will be hot and heavy between teammates Jake Garcia and Ben Rhodes. 11 points separating them. Garcia currently 11 points ahead for that final playoff spot. Two-time truck champion Ben Rhodes 11 points shy of the cut line. Then you've got, I believe, Giovanni Ruggiero for Toyota also in the mix. He's, I think, 21 points behind, so he would need a rough day for both the Thor Sport drivers ahead of him. So definitely some things to keep an eye on, but as of right now, we're gonna have to wait and see as we get ready for this one. But Corey Heim starting first. He's gonna be one to keep an eye on for sure. For the overall race win, we also got the debut of Caden Honeycutt in the 52 truck as he will roll off 11th. Caden Honeycutt, heavily rumored to be going to the Tricon Garage team, possibly replacing Corey Heim if Heim gets an opportunity at the Xfinity or Cup level. Then they would have him fill that vacancy. If Corey Heim doesn't get an opportunity to move up like that, then I'm curious as to what they'll end up doing with him. But he has signed a deal with Toyota, hence why he got moved out of the Nissan Motorsports Chevy truck. So we have the debut of Caden Honeycutt in that car. We also have some other drivers getting moved around. We've got Spire Motorsports shrinking their Truck Series operation from 4 full-time cars down to 3. So they have cut the 07 car number and the 07 because it was higher in points. They kept the 07's points and gave those to the 77. Which will now be piloted by Corey LaJoy down the stretch. And the former driver of the 77, Andres Perez de Lara, was out at that ride, and he will take over the vacant Nice Motorsports seat, which they shuffled some of the numbers around. So now Bailey Curry will be in the 45, chasing the Owners' Championship that Caden Honeycutt had earned them. They will be racing in the for the truck. So Bailey Curry will be chasing the truck championship with them, while Andres Perez de Lara will take over the 44 truck or at least the 44 number that Bailey Curry has been running this year. So a little bit complicated as to how they got there, but that is how they've gotten here. A very weird entry list all the way top to bottom. I mean, yeah, guys, like we got Mike Harmon Racing making an appearance. Didn't even realize they were really still in operation because I feel like I haven't seen them for a couple of years now. Then we got guys like Clayton Green in the 02 truck. We got friend of the channel, Stephen Malazzi, in the starting 31st, very far down the order. We got Nick Lights in the 02 truck. Yeah, again, this entry list was weird. There were more that probably got bumped out in qualifying, if I had to guess, because I remember looking at the list and thinking it was really weird. No, okay, I guess there wasn't. I guess that was all of them, so. Yeah, Patrick Staropoli was another weird one. Just a lot of faces and places that didn't seem normal. Obviously, we have got Andres Perez and Caden Honeycutt in their new rides for this week. So, definitely a little bit weird, but we are set up and we've got trucks rolling onto the track to start warming up for this one. So, welcome on in. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. If you guys are, of course, hit the like button and subscribe, guys. And you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. We will be, we will be enjoying this one again tomorrow. We've got the NASCAR Cup Series race again tomorrow night. The NASCAR Cup Series will be racing here at Richmond as well. And for those of you guys who don't know, my dad will actually be joining us in the studio for that race. So that'll be fun. That is a 7:30 start time. So, yep, we should be we should be having a very good time there. So, there we go. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. All right. They're going through the starting grid. Caden Honeycutt out qualifies his old truck in the 45 truck. There we go. Again, Jake Garcia starting on the outside of row 4. He's in a good spot to advance if he can just maintain position, because right now Ben Rhodes, he will be starting from the 9th row on the inside line. And their other driver who is also competing for that one, I don't know where I saw Giovanni Ruggiero. Oh, he's starting tail of the field. Yikes. So definitely some interesting ones up and down the grid here, but there we go. I wasn't able to prevent that ad from playing on you guys. All right, let's see. Is everything all good? Okay, yeah, everything's good. We are good. There we go. Again, Caden Honeycutt in a brand new truck for tonight with the Halmar Friesen Racing Team. And in the downtime, the Halmar Racing Team has opted that they will not pursue a waiver for driver waiver for Stuart Friesen, essentially just confirming that Stuart Friesen will not be back in time for the playoffs, which I think almost anyone who saw that rack up in Canada knew that he wouldn't be back, but that this absolutely confirms that he will not be back for the playoffs. So again, we are racing this race with the knowledge as to what's going on. We still don't exactly know what the status of. We got about a month to figure out the status for Xfinity Series driver Connor Zilic, who broke or fractured his collarbone after climbing out of his Xfinity Series car. That was a scary incident. But again, I've heard timetables all over the place, so I don't really know what his timetable to return will be, and we will have to wait and figure that one out as we get closer to their playoffs. Because the weird thing is the Xfinity Series playoffs don't start till like Bristol, so they've got a little ways to figure this one out. Xfinity Series isn't even racing this weekend. They next time the Xfinity Series races will be at Daytona next Friday night, which we'll be streaming here because local dirt track is not up. I know there were some people who wanted me to stream the local dirt track this week, but it just wasn't in the cards. I put out a poll asking if people wanted to see it. Poll was tied. I flipped a coin to the side and ultimately ended up staying here. So. And then, obviously, next week they don't even have racing on track to go to because of how important a weekend it is for in motorsports. I assume that's referring to how important the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs are going to be. But, yep, so we'll be getting ready for that one, though. Again, we'll return to the, so our return to the dirt track should be August 29th. Should be the next time Unity has racing after today. Alright, yeah, we got Truck Series action on track. They're going through and doing their pass-throughs on pit road, making sure they got the speedometers all calibrated in. Alright, there we go. Alright, so again, we are just chilling out here. Again, Corey Heim, the pole sitter here. He's never finished better than 5th in a Truck Series race at Richmond. I'm curious to see how that'll potentially change today. so here we go. Green flag's out. We are back to racing, and here we go. Corey Heim takes the lead with authority here. 3-4 wide for Brent Cruz in the back of the pack. Going 3 and 4 wide at this track. There is not a lot of room around here. They ultimately file themselves down to 2-3 wide here. 4 wide is very risky around here, but they managed to hang on, get this one done. Looks like the 19 of Derek Kraus way out of the groove here. Alright, so there we go. Again, Daniel Hemrick getting dropped way further back than he probably should have there. Man. Alright, there we go. Again, we are just chilling out here. 3 laps completed already as Corey Heim and Majeski infinger the top 3. Let's see, as Garcia's fallen back. Garcia has been able to maintain, he's been able to maintain his 9th place starting position. Essentially, I believe he might have slid back a spot or 2, but for the most part, he's been able to maintain a spot. But Ben Rhodes is on the march. Ben Rhodes knows that this is his chance to try and make this, to make the playoffs. Come on. Okay, there we go. That'll be a notable change I can try and sync up to. Nope. No, apparently I wasn't able to do that. Okay, I'm trying to sync up my 2 broadcasts so I can get, so I can try and get some clips here, so. Okay, there we go. That's pretty close. Probably as close as I'm going to get. We'll watch for one more adjustment. Let's see. Alright, there we go. Alright, yeah, everything looks pretty well synced up, so we should be good to go. Sorry about that. A little bit of a distraction, but I wanted to make sure I got that done before too long here. Again, 8 laps in, 70 laps in stage 1, 70 in stage 2, and then the final 110 to the checkers. There we go. Let's see, what do we got here? Let's see. What do we got? Malazzi in the pits and his teammate Green already off the track as well. Oh boy. That is not a great way for that to have gone. Man. Talk about an unfortunate way for those 2 to start. Yeah, not sure how their teammate Frankie Muniz is doing right now, but I'm guessing it is not going to be too much of a better day for him. Alright, so there we go. Alright, Giovanni Ruggiero, again, he is going to need an amazing day today to go ahead and qualify for the Truck Series playoffs, and I don't see it really being all that possible. Again, right now, Garcia holds the spot. He also holds the highest spot of the benchmark drivers. Now, flat tire on Daniel Hemrick's truck. I believe that is a flat tire as there are sparks coming out from behind that car. I would not be shocked if we see a yellow flag come out here, because he is all the way at the start-finish line. He will need to make a full lap with that truck sparking like that. Yeah, to be able to make it back to pit road, that is going to be a nightmare to try and climb back to the pits. Alright, there we go. And so they pan back to the battle between Corey Heim, and here we go. More sparks coming out from behind the car as the leaders are coming up, and it looks like they're going to allow Daniel Hemrick to get all the way back around to pit road. Man, that is a lot of sparks. I'm surprised that they didn't throw a caution there, but he made it back to the pit road, so I guess they were right to do it as long as there wasn't debris all over the track. Which I didn't see a whole lot of debris, so. Alright, there we go. Also, let me know if the fan is too loud in the background. I've got a fan going to try and help regulate some temperature in here because, for whatever reason, whenever I'm streaming, it always feels like the temperature jumps a couple degrees. There we go. Daniel Hemrick and his 19 team getting the pit stop done. Again, they already got a win, so they are locked into the Truck Series playoffs. But a bummer to have their kind of last race kind of kill their momentum right before the playoffs start. All right, so there we go. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah, so again, a tight battle for the lead. The Thorsport trucks have not looked overly impressive this year. In fact, none of the Thorsport trucks, Majeski, Rhodes, or Craftsman, have been able to get wins this year. Jake Garcia, he's the youngest driver in the experimental fourth car. I didn't expect much out of him, but to have two drivers going to miss the playoffs, possibly three if Giovanni Ruggiero or somebody else wins this race and bumps themselves in, you could see three of the four full-time Thorsport trucks miss out on the playoffs. That would be insane. So here we go. Majeski to the outside and goes around Heim for the lead. Ty Majeski out in front of the field. Corey Heim to second. Corey Heim, he's usually so dominant everywhere. Usually no one's even in his league. But Majeski, a phenomenal short track racer in his own right. Drives up, goes around the outside of Heim, and clears him for the lead as they go to commercial break. So, alright, there we go. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. If you guys are, of course, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new. So you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. So there we go. Let's see. Alright, but yeah, so if you see me checking my phone, I'm also keeping up with the Pokemon World Championships, which started today. So, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm a massive Pokemon fan. In fact, this channel started as a Pokemon channel, and I have still been keeping up with a gaming channel at Ryan Dyer Gaming if you guys want to check it out. But, yeah, so Pokemon World Championships are this weekend, and, yeah, they've got matches. They've got, I think they've got this round and one more tonight. So there's, not much more of games going on, but we are going to be seeing if certain guys are going to make it through to the next round. Yeah, I believe the winner of this match gets their ticket punch to day 2 automatically if they can just win this game. So yeah, we are just chilling out here though. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, there we go, and we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. We're at commercial break, so you're not missing anything. Well, you're not missing anything that I'm not also missing. But Majeski's starting to put some gap between himself and Corey Heim, and they've both put nearly 2 seconds on Layne Riggs. Yikes. That is a big gap there for Layne Riggs. Caden Honeycutt up into the 10th position. Or up to the 8th position. Sorry, Jake Garcia has fallen to 10th. Again, he's still holding on to it. He came in with a points lead, so he doesn't even need to necessarily outperform the other playoff drivers. He just needs to stay within 11 points of them throughout the day, which obviously is a lot easier to do if you're ahead of them, but But yeah, so Giovanni Ruggiero, he's made his way to 19th place, and Ben Rhodes to 13th. So Ben Rhodes has closed that gap dramatically, and he has the least amount of points. All he has to do is gain. All he needs to do is gain. Whatchamacallit. All he has to do is gain. All he has to do is gain. I think it's 11 position. I think he needs to be 11 positions ahead of Garcia, but also obviously when it comes to stages, stage points can make a little bit of a difference in that. When we get down to the end of the night, we'll know a little bit better about it. Oh no, who dat? Is that Daniel Hemrick? Yeah, Daniel Hemrick. The hood is up on that truck. They have brought it behind the wall, and he is going to be out of any real shot to compete tonight. And again, going to lose all sorts of momentum. Any sort of momentum he may have hoped to have had going into the playoffs is now gone. Alright, so there we go. And we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. So yeah, now Corey Heim has fallen nearly 2 seconds off the back of Majeski. He does still have a second and a half between himself and Riggs, but that is a massive gap to have given Ty Majeski. Majeski now with a 2-second lead over Heim. Rajah Caruth and Corey LaJoy battling it out for 15th in two of the Spire Motorsports trucks. Meanwhile, Sammy Smith in the third Spire Motorsports truck is all the way up in sixth place. Definitely an interesting one to keep an eye on here. Also, Matt Craftsman up inside the top 5. Jay Garcia can't breathe too easy because if Matt Craftsman were to win, that would bump him out. So that is going to be something to keep an eye on as well as we get further and further into this race. Again, we're about halfway through stage 1 here. 30 laps down, 40 to go. Alright, but yeah, again, right now, all these drivers trying to say Majeski is just flying here. I mean, Majeski legit may end up going through this first stage completely unchallenged. I mean, he is 2.5 seconds ahead of Heim. And Heim, I think most people have talked about as, oh yeah, he's almost so good it's unfair for him to still be in the Truck Series. And I mean, I'm certainly on the side of I think Ty Majeski is good enough that if he has a I think he should have contending Xfinity teams calling him, asking, hey, you want to move up the ladder? Now, if he wants to stay in trucks, sure, I get it. Corey Heim clearly does not want to stay in trucks his entire career, at least not at the moment. Yeah, you can tell based on the fact that he's literally in the Cup race tomorrow. He'll be driving the 67 for 2311. He is signed as their simulator driver through this season. Obviously, any sort of contract with 2311 is massive question marks at the moment because we have to wait until we see what the result of the lawsuit is going to be. All right, there we go. Oh, what do we got here? Let's see. Alright, so here we go again. Corey Heim. Man, Corey Heim, he's managing to reel it in a little bit between himself and Majeski. It's under 2 seconds now, barely. And probably will be extended. Oh, no, actually, Corey Heim continues to shrink this one. So, yeah, there we go. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Carson Quapple, another one to go ahead and just mention. A couple of There's a few Xfinity Series drivers making use of their off week to come down here and get some extra laps. Again, you got Sammy Smith from Junior Motorsports. You got Quapple from Junior Motorsports turning some extra laps. There we go. Oh, all right, there we go. All right, so again, we are just chilling out here. So Hemrick, Malazzi, and Green all off track already. Three of our 35 starting trucks already off the track. Ben Rhodes up to 12th here. He's only 2 spots shy of battling his teammate. There's only 1 car separating him and his teammate from fighting for position. And again, as those two are fighting for position, it's going to be a tough one down the stretch. Again, they're fighting for the final playoff spot there. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, let's see. These sleeves are really slick today. Alright, so there we go. 28 laps to go here in this stage. And again, right now they are covering a really good battle actually here for 5th. We got the 9 of Enfinger, we got the 38 of Chandler Smith, and Matt Crafton right behind them, battling it out for this spot. Dawson Sutton back in spot 20, just went a lap down, so now we are starting to lap the top 20, and the next driver to go down a lap would be Giovanni Ruggiero in 19th spot here, as he currently sits just ahead of the leader, and if he wants to contend for this spot on points, he might need to drive as hard as he can to try and hold off Majeski, and Majeski has got to be getting told from his team, you got to lap at least this next car, and there he goes, Giovanni Ruggiero down a lap. And I'm curious if Luke Fenhaus will if there'll be any choreographing, although there probably won't need to be because there's still 26 laps to go to make sure that Giovanni Ruggiero isn't even in free pass position, because if you can keep him off the lead lap, that brings it now down to a 1 of the night currently. I believe it is 13. It would be about 13, 14 points between them if you count stage points for the points as they run. It will be a curious thing to watch down the stretch here. But it looks like they're going to be going to one more commercial break here before we get to the finish of the race. I also don't have a clue how you're supposed to pronounce the name of this race. The EERO 250. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say it or not, but that's how I'm going to say it. Alright, so there we go. Let's go ahead and skip around to ads, since no one really likes ads, and I wasn't able to skip that one earlier that I really wanted to try and skip, because I don't believe in showing you guys ads before the streams even really started. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Layne Riggs has made the pass on Corey Heim. Corey Heim drops to 3 seconds back in the leader. Layne Riggs makes the pass, and he's up to 2nd place here. Corey Heim down to 3rd. I'm curious if there's something wrong with Corey Heim's car, or if he is just that far off at this track. I mean, again, his best finish here in trucks has been the has been all the way back in 5th place, so who knows? But I mean, I normally associate Corey Heim with really good short track racing, but so far tonight it has not seemed like he's all that great. And there's we got a Dodge Ram ad here on the Truck Series thing again. It sounds like Dodge is petitioning, is trying to petition teams to run their body kit for next year's Truck Series season. Rumor has it that Colleague is one of the teams that could be somewhat close to a deal, but it definitely feels weird that they've announced a 2026 entrance into the sport without naming a single team that will be switching over to their bodies. Especially when one would imagine that you'd love to have that manufactured sport. Although you don't have your own engines in the Truck Series anymore. Still, the ability to have a OEM like that working with you. I mean, there's still clearly some haves and have-nots in the Truck Series, and a lot of those are based on how tied in you are at your manufacturer. Motorsports obviously is the top Ford team. Spire, I think, probably established themselves as the top Chevy team this year. And obviously, Tricon Garage is essentially the Toyota factory team. So, and those are basically your top 3 teams right there. Again, ThorSport, I would question whether ThorSport or Front Row Motorsports is a top Ford team, but at this point, I would probably call it Front Row Motorsports because Front Row has been the better team. All right, so there we go. 16 laps to go. 16 more times around here. Only 4 sets of tires. And say only 4 sets of tires for this race. That is a really weird. That is a really tight strategy because that means you get 2 sets of tires for the final stage. If you start the race on a set of tires, you run that set through stage 1. You run your second set of tires through stage 2. You have 2. You put on a set of tires to start the 3rd stage. You'll pit somewhere around the middle at around 50 to 60 laps in. Yeah, and put on your 4th set. But that means you will not have a set of tires available at the end of the race. Now, if you try and run long, if you try and go, say, 80, 90 laps on a set of tires trying to catch a caution flag, would that be worth it? I don't know. I'd have to see the numbers and the projections, but yeah, there we go. Corey LaJoie up into in 17th place. He is now a lap down. In fact, they have now lapped all the way up to Bailey Curry in 13th place. Wow. I'm kind of curious. How close are the 2 teammates? 0.7 seconds apart. Oh, man. So, 7/10 of a second between Garcia and Rhodes. So they've got to figure something out. But right now, Garcia and Rhodes essentially nose to tail here. The battle for this final spot in the playoffs. Yeah, say Ben Rhodes, the veteran, he wants this. Garcia wants to keep him from it. So there we go. So there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. 10 laps to go. 10 more times around here at the Richmond Raceway. Now 9. 9 more times around. And again, we are, wow, they are lapping so many people. They're going to lap Ankrum for 12th, leaving only 11 cars on the lead lap at the end of one stage. That is insane. So here we go. Again, 9 laps to go. 9 more times around. Garcia on the back bumper of Craftsman now. So 3 ThorSport trucks, none of which are in the playoffs as of right now. Craftsman would need the win. Yeah, the other 2 both battling with an 11-point bubble here. All right, there we go. IndyCar in Milwaukee on the Sunday after Daytona. I will not be streaming that one as I will be out at the card shop. But how's everybody doing? You got 7 laps to go here. Honeycutt battling it out with Infinger here. All right, so here we go. We got the 52 of Caden Honeycutt looking up the inside of Chevy driver Grant Infinger after Chevy kind of pulled the rug out from under him earlier this week or last week. So I'm definitely curious to see what Honeycutt's going to do here. Trying to apex this corner, but again, he's got the 9 car riding on that outside, not allowing a whole lot of room on exit. And the 9 car of Infinger able to retake that lead. Well, I say lead. That lead in the battle for position. Battling it out for 6th place. Alright, there we go. Stuart Friesen recovering from home, but he still has the all the race stuff up on his sorry, no, not sorry, that's not Stuart Friesen. That's Friesen shouting out one of their engineers who is laid up at home with the bunch of stuff. So there we go. Alright, so there we go. Here we are just chilling out here. 3 laps to go, 3 more times around. Here comes the 16 of Eckes. To the bottom of the track goes Eckes in the AAA car. There we go. Christian Eckes trying to make something happen here on the bottom of the racetrack. Gets by the 9 of Infinger. Now has his eyes set on the 52 of Honeycutt. And here we go. Lights are on pit road as it is 2 laps to go. Pit road is officially closed. It is now 1 lap to go. As Ty Majeski has a 5-second lead for Ty Majeski. That is insane that he has a 5-second lead for this stage win. Ty Majeski out in front of the field, coming around to complete this stage. And Ty Majeski will win this stage by 5 full seconds. What on earth did Ty Majeski do to this field today? Laps Tyler Ankrum, the 12th place car, and Ty Majeski, your stage 1 winner here at Richmond. Alright, so there we go. Here we are. Just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, well. Again, we've got the stage caution out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. So yeah, we're just waiting out this commercial break here. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we are chilling out here. The Dodge ad again. Again, they're putting on a lot of ads. Would love to actually see some real performance from them here. Alright, Bears Bills preseason game. Oh, there looks to be some moisture around that track. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm no expert, but that looks like it could be water on the track. Again, we'll have to wait and see if if it's enough to warrant bringing out the rain tires here. Well, the wetness, the moisture I saw was on the wall, not necessarily on the track itself. So, again, there's a good chance it probably just is a low amount, so they'll be able to stay on dries. Here we go, Majeski, Layne Riggs, Corey Heim, all coming down pit road here. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go. Ben Rhodes up 10 spots on pit road. Oh boy, did he go 2 tires? Because if he took 2 tires to try and take the lead, that could be a problem there. But yeah. Alright, so yeah, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. go. All right. Let's see. There we go. Again, we are chilling out. Let's see. Alright, there we go. Here we are just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Alright, so here we go. Heim and Majeski are going to start up front. What happened to Ben Rhodes? Did Ben Rhodes have to come back down pit road again? Oh, I looked down for a minute and Ben Rhodes, did Ben Rhodes get a speeding penalty or something? I'm going to have to double check that. Alright, let's see. Was that a speeding penalty for Rhodes or what? What happened? Let's see. Oh, I just realized I'd been on the wrong tab. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was on the wrong tab. I didn't realize. Let me just go ahead and limit this tab down to only one page. Alright, so here we go. 11, 12 laps in, and again, regardless of what happened, it is a very big disappointment to see Ben Rhodes dropped all the way to the rear. Okay. Okay, so Ben Rhodes just completely missed his pit stall and had to come back down again. So he didn't get tail end along his line, which is nice, but he is gonna have an upward climb to do here. There we go. Alright, so there we go. Hey, hot dog boy, how's it going? Alright, so we are currently 17 laps in here, and I'm seeing a lot of what looks like moisture falling from the sky. I'm curious if there's going to be any chance of a rain caution, and if so, what do we have for rain tires available? Alright, so there we go. Again, right now we got Corey Heim back to the lead. So Corey Heim can at least get the short run, but the problem is Corey Heim needs to figure out what he's doing on the long runs, because the long runs he has been absolutely eaten alive by Majeski. Alright, so there we go. We got Brent Cruz, the 44 of Andres Perez, battling it out right ahead of Ben Rhodes, currently in 12th place. Again, those drivers currently a lap down, while Ben Rhodes is on the lead lap, but they are going to be slowing him up at least a little bit here. Meanwhile, Garcia trying to battle it out with Eckes here, trying to take that fifth spot away. Oh no, spin and crash! Ryan Roulette and Luke Fenhaus going around, and that's going to be the second caution flag of the night. There we go. Alright, so let's see. What actually happened? Because I looked down for a second here. Alright, let's see. Oh, wow. Ryan Roulette just spins. Just runs into the back of Fenhaus and spins him out there, it looks like. It looked like just got too deep into the corner and just ran the 66 right up out the groove. Luckily, no significant damage to either driver, or either car, but just a harmless spin that will set us up for yet another restart here. Second restart, first caution for cause today. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we are chilling out here. Ben Rhodes back on pit road. Uh-oh. So Ben Rhodes coming down pit road, gonna try and grab some more, another set of fresh tires here. After only about, only after about 15 laps of running, and really only about 5 to 10 of those were under green flag conditions. So There we go. Again, we are chilling here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Man. Oh, there we go. Alright, so yeah, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Yeah, we are. Take a peek over here. Yeah, no, nothing over there. Alright, so again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so alright, so here we go. Let's see. Doubled up, lights off on the pace car. We'll be going back green this time. Bye. Green this time. Alright, so there we go. Alright, pace car pulls off. Field in the hands of Heim and Majeski here as we get ready to go back racing. Green flags out. We are racing here at Richmond. Let's see. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Heim, Majeski? Oh! Corey Heim jumps off the top line here. And he's going to clear down the back straightaway over Majeski. So Heim cleared to the lead. Majeski to second. Riggs to third. Aiden Honeycutt still battling it out to try and get fourth away from Sammy Smith. And here we go. Ben Rhodes battling his way past Jake Garcia in line here now. Again, Ben Rhodes has now used up an extra set of tires, so he has one set of tires that will not be as good as the rest here. Now, I mean, he could theoretically throw that on at the start of stage 3, suck at the beginning of stage 3, and then just rely on that final fresh set of tires right at the very end. But again, that is going to be a gutsy call here by Majeski. Again, he had to try something, but there we go. He's not quite as fast as Heim, but he is making his way up into the top 5 now. Ben Rhodes trying to show why he's a champion here in the Truck Series. Would love to see some points as we run NASCAR. Points as we run would be really great right about now. I can guesstimate because Garcia had a 12-point lead entering this one. And as of right now, Ben Rhodes has a 3 position advantage, so that would be so you would eat in about 6 points into that 13-point gap. So I think with Garcia running 7th, I think it would require a win from Ben Rhodes. All right, so 33 laps to go here. Majeski powers around powers around Corey Heim again, and as we saw around this point last stage, Corey Heim really good on the short run, but Majeski just takes over on this long run and dominates, and he is doing really well tonight. He could be leading himself to Thor Sports' first win of the season. All right, so there we go. Alright, so here we go. We got Ben Rhodes, Garcia. Let me do the math real quick. Alright, so again, entering this stage, Garcia is 12 points ahead of Rhodes. Really, once we get to the end of this stage, it'll be a lot easier to do the math to figure out exactly where Garcia would need to finish to ensure Rhodes is a must win. Because I think Garcia will, if Garcia can manage to finish around this point in the stage, if Garcia can avoid losing, too many spots to Rhodes, all Garcia might need is a top 10 day to hold on to it. Because again, up 12 points right now. It's just again guesstimation about 12 points ahead right now. Rhodes would gain 2 from the stage win, or from the current stage result if the stage were to end right now. So that would move it back to a 10-point gap. So Garcia would have to finish, I think, 8th or better to ensure that second place is not enough for Ben Rhodes to advance. I think that's the math. Actually, 10 points is just caution flag, caution. What's the caution for? What's the yellow for? Oh no, Dawson Sutton, the Rackley roofing machine down on the entrance to pit road here has come to a stop. So yeah, if it's 1 point per position from second, so that means third would be 1 point, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8, 9, 10. 10th place would only be a loss of that many spots, so 11, 12. So I think if Ben Rhodes does finish 2 spots ahead of Garcia in the stage, I believe all Garcia will need is about a top 10. Maybe they could get away with an 11th place finish, which these caution flags are opening up the possibility of Garcia finishing further back than that, as it is allowing some of these other guys back onto the lead lap. So they're going to go to a commercial break, and we will figure this one out. But so far, it's looking like a good game. Certainly looking forward to it, so let's see. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Alright, so again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Hey, Red Sox tie it up in the sixth. Let's go. Boston Red Sox tie the baseball game against the Marlins. Yeah, bottom of the sixth inning, so still time to go in that game, but there we go. But yeah, we are chilling out here. Also, again, apologies about the delay on the video. That should have been going up on the gaming channel. Been just a little bit out of it the last day or two, but I will be uploading it. I'll be getting it uploaded tonight after I get done with this stream, and then it will be scheduled to go up probably tomorrow around probably about 2-ish, because I'll probably have it go off about the time I get out of work, so that I can be around to promote it. Alright, so there we go. Actually, honestly, I might do it earlier in the day. That way, it can be going on. I can have that go up before the World's Day 2 starts, because that would make way more sense to try and beat out World's Day 2, because I don't want it going. I don't want it to have to go up against World's Day 2. So here we go. Majeski and others coming to pit road for their second set of tires here. There goes Ty Majeski putting on tires. Jake Garcia is on pit road for tires here. I am really curious as to what the strategy will be here, because now they're going to have to run either this current set of tires or this previous set of tires at the start of stage 3. Because you want to save one set of stickers for the second half of stage 3, so that when you get a late caution, you can maybe throw those on for a late run. I don't really know what this is going to do for that. So here we go. Majeski, Honeycutt, Eckes, the first 3 off pit road. Garcia, 4th. 5th, Ankrum. 6th, Infinger. So far, everybody just up or down one position. Nobody losing or gaining massively by coming to pit road. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, Corey Heim, Riggs, and Rhodes, the front 3. Sammy Smith in 4th, Craftsman, Chandler Smith, Caruth. The front 7 stayed out. 8th on back has come to pit road. So it'll be an interesting one here to see what comes of this. Again, a long way to go here in this stage. Alright, let's see. Okay, yeah, not what I was looking for. All right, so we currently have 14 cars on the lead lap, including but not limited to Giovanni Ruggiero, the other driver who could be a factor points wise in making it to the playoffs. Although with this many cars a lap down, I don't. He would probably need a DNF from Garcia to and probably Rhodes, honestly, to try and get close. But hey, winning is still a method to get there as well, and if he can just win this race, he will go ahead and get this one. Alright, so there we go. Again, getting ready for this restart. 25 laps to go. I'm curious how these fresh tires are going to perform for these drivers as they get ready to run here. Alright, here we go. Heim on the outside, Riggs to the inside. Rhodes follows Heim to the top line here. So it looks like top line is preferred, but no one really going too far outside their comfort zone. Everybody's just taking whatever the if you can get one row further forward by taking the bottom lane, they're doing it. If it's even in front of you and you'll be on the same row regardless, you're taking the outside. All right, there we go. All right, and here we go as we get ready to drop this green flag here and get ready to go green, green, green. Alright, so here we go. Green, green, green. Green flag's out, and here we go. Heim out and away with this lead, but the question is going to be these drivers coming from behind with fresh tires. Let's see. 3 wide behind. A lot of drivers trying to go every which way, all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. A lot of drivers going every which way out here. Again, Riggs still out, say Heim out in front of the field. Riggs is actually dropped back. Rhodes jumps up to second here. So there we go. Rhodes up to second. Corey Heim in the lead. Chandler Smith the third. Majeski and the others are charging here, though. Garcia up to 8th already. Gonna try and at least minimize the points lead that Rhodes will jump with this one. Alright, so there we go. Right now we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Let's see. Again, right now, Corey Heim out in front of this field here. Trying to hold them all off. Ben Rhodes behind. First driver on. Oh, here comes Majeski. Ty Majeski on these fresher tires. Powers his way by Rhodes. Up past Corey Heim. And to the lead with fresh tires goes Ty Majeski. And he is going to be going, gone. As he is going to probably steamroll his way to this stage win. And that is going to be one less point available for the driver of the 98. Alright, so there we go. Or one less point for the 99. I mean, the 98 going to be taking that point away as he just steamrolls past. He's looking for that playoff point to help him himself advance through the rounds as he is yet to win a race this year. Looking like Majeski might be able to pick up a win here today, but yeah, again, Majeski, last year's champion, really starting to come alive here in the final race of the regular season. As we got 3 wide behind, Honeycutt, Chandler Smith, and Eckes all dueling it out here for 4th. 3 wide, and Jake Garcia looking to try and maybe make it 4 wide there. Thinks better of it. All right, so there we go again. Everybody's working really hard to try and get this one. 15 laps to go. Again, Garcia knows every spot he can gain here is one less point he has to worry about defending down the stretch. Because again, if Ben Rhodes gains a ton of spots here, so if Ben Rhodes was to finish a lot of points ahead of him, then the margin of error would be even higher. Again, it was a 12-point lead entering this stage. Again, it looks like Ben Rhodes will gain 2 points on Garcia, leaving it as a 10-point gap at the end of this stage here. There we go. They are still battling it out pretty hard behind him, but that is going to allow Garcia to kind of leave these guys a little bit in the dust here. Not to mention he's got fresher tires, so he's able to run ahead. 13 laps to go. 13 to go here. Making some good runs here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. If you guys are, of course, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Again, we got only 2 Cup races left before the Cup Series playoffs start. We'll be here for both of them. Cup Series tomorrow night. And then we've got the Cup Series a week from Saturday as well. 2 Saturday night races in a row. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so 11 laps to go. Oh, Ryan Roulette back out there. Okay, again, we hadn't really talked about him since the spin, but there we go. Garcia now ahead of Ben Rhodes and going to actually gain spots here. So now 12. He would gain 13, 14, now 15 points would be the gap between Rhodes and Garcia here. So Rhodes and Garcia, again, right now Garcia looks like he's going to have a 15-point advantage, which would be massive here as we get down to the stretch here. Connor Mozak in the 81 going to hang on to this one. He and LaJoy are going to battle it out for that free pass here in 9 laps. But right now, Garcia hanging on, and he's going to try and earn as many points as he can away from Ben Rhodes. Because again, if Ben Rhodes loses out here on a ton of points, he's going to have to finish even further up or essentially being a must-win come the end of this race, which again, I don't know about his tire strategy. Again, he tried playing the tire strategy with the first caution flag. Then the second one, everybody else decided to jump on that same strategy, and now he's not going to gain the points, and he burned 5 to 10 laps on that set of tires. All right, so there we go. So yeah, laps on their tires again. Heim at 59 laps on his tires. He should be struggling against most of these guys on lesser tires. Then you got Ben Rhodes on 42 laps on his 43 laps on his tires, working their way through this one. But again, I think this is going to just be Jake Garcia, especially if he can get by Heim for this for an extra point here. It's just going to be that much harder for Ben Rhodes to hang on to this one. Ben Rhodes came into the night needing points, and so far he lost out on 1 point to Garcia in the first stage, and now he's going to lose out on about 6 points to him in the second stage. All right, here we go. 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go in this stage. Again, we're working our way through this one. Majeski, Garcia, the Motorsports trucks look alive tonight. I mean, hey, even Matt Craftsman's kind of fallen to the wayside as the stage has gone on. But all 4 Motorsports trucks outside of the 66 who got spun out in early on in stage 2, all 4 of the other Motorsports trucks have been relevant. The 4 full-timers. Craftsman was up in the top 5 for a while. Ben Rhodes and Garcia have been fighting it out for the playoff spot, in and around the edge of the top 10. And Majeski's been up front dominating a decent chunk of the races. He's already led 89 of the 250 laps on the entire day. And in fact, he's led 89 of the laps, and we've only had 140 runs so far, so. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Let's see again. Heim is kind of out to lunch here. The question is anybody else going to pass him here? Final lap, and it's Ty Majeski claiming stage win number 2 on the night. Garcia gets second. How far will Rhodes drop? Rhodes comes home 7th. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points Rhodes lost there. So that is going to put Ben Rhodes now, I think, the math is a little bit weird here, but I believe that will be all right. So they came in with a 12-point gap. They came into the stage with a 12-point gap. Garcia gains 9. Ben Rhodes is going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4. So Garcia gains 5. So it'll be a 17-point gap entering this stage. So as long as Jake Garcia can avoid losing 17 points to his teammate Ben Rhodes in this stage, essentially Jake Garcia just needs to finish at this point. Alright, so again, we are chilling here. Let's go. Alright, so again, we are just chilling out here. We got the final stage. It's 110 laps to the checkers. It's going to be a long one, but hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Again, if you guys are enjoying the stream as a whole so far, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. And let me know who you guys are rooting for in the Truck Series playoffs. Are you rooting for Caden Honeycutt? Maybe you like a favorite like Corey Heim. Maybe you guys are hoping for the underdog Grant. Because I feel like Grant Enfinger at this point is kind of an underdog for that truck championship. He's done good, but as I am curious to know who you guys all are rooting for as we get down later and later into this stage. Alright, well, we are chilling here. Alright, back from the commercial break here. Majeski, Garcia, Heim in the front 3. Gonna have to see as they get ready to come down pit road. What tires are Majeski and Garcia going to put on? Are they going to put on their fresh scuffs, or are they going to put on the cold scuffs that they took off at the last stage break, or are they going to put on their last set of sticker tires? Because if they put their last set of stickers on at this point, I'd be a little concerned here. But here we go. Majeski finds his pit stop. Ben Rhodes looks to be putting on. Hard to tell. I can't tell if those are stickers or not here. Same thing with Garcia. Couldn't tell if theirs were stickers. Heim's, we know, are going to be stickers. As Corey Heim has 2 sets of stickers left, he will for sure be on stickers, and he'll have a tire advantage down the stretch here. So expect Corey Heim to have a little bit of an edge here down the stretch. So here we go. Majeski wins the race off pit road. Corey Heim to second. Honeycutt to third. Fourth, Infinger, fifth. Rhodes, sixth, Ankrum. Garcia drops 5 spots. He can afford to do that. Just can't have a disaster. Christian Eckes coming out fourth. Coming out eighth, dropping 4 spots down. Ruggiero jumps up 2 spots, and Chandler Smith drops 2 spots. Lots of movement up and down the grid there on that one. All right, there we go. All right, so they're going to a commercial break here. And we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright. So yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. We are currently under commercial break and the caution flag, so you guys are not missing a thing here. Kind of impressive that both Corey Heim and Majeski, I mean, they both have spent so much time in the top 2 that they both have average running positions of under 2. Which the fact that they can manage to get 2 of them to finish with average finishing positions of that, or average running positions, that's actually pretty impressive. It means that neither one of them spent much time outside the top 2. And in fact, I don't think I've seen Corey Heim any further down than about 3rd, where he finished last stage. So definitely gonna be interesting here down the stretch. Alright, is the race over? No, we just wrapped up stage 2. They were just doing pit stops, and they were under our full screen commercial break with the yellow flag out. We're coming back from commercial break, though, here. Jake Garcia, again, has a approximately 15-point advantage on teammate Ben Rhodes for the final spot on points into the championship. Now, that's not factoring in a potential Giovanni Ruggiero race win. If Ruggiero or some of these other names outside the Truck Series playoffs, win, let's actually go ahead and pull up the names that could win an upset. Nope, we need it. Trucks, not Cup. So as of right now, again, Jake Garcia has about a 15-point edge that he's gained over the course of this race. But yeah, so if Ruggiero, Gray hasn't really been in the factor tonight. Mozak might be a lead lap driver now. Did Mozak get back on the lead lap? Yes, it looks like Connor Mozak and a bunch of others actually did get back on the lead lap. Tanner Gray included, so there are a few drivers who got back on lead lap here. Majeski, Heim taking the front 2 spots. Honeycutt and Infinger. Ankrum, Rhodes, Eckes, Garcia, Ruggiero, Chandler Smith, Riggs, Crafton, Sammy Smith, Caruth, a bunch of drivers here. But yeah, so I mean, Matt Crafton could go up here and win this race and take this one. Ben Rhodes could win and take the spot that way without having to worry about points. So it's going to be an interesting one. Lights are off on the pace car. We'll be going back green this time. So again, green this time with 100 laps to go. 100 laps to go. We spent 10 laps there under the caution flag here. Bunched right up. Now, let's see. Yeah, again, the inside lane is the control car. That is Ty Majeski here as we go through the restart zone, and it will be green, green flags out. And they are racing here in stage number 3. To the bottom of the racetrack goes Caden Honeycutt looking for the lead already. And, oh no, Andres Perez in the grass early in this one. And I say, battling it out 3 wide here. Corey Heim going to take the lead off the outside line. Majeski, though, he's been really good on these long runs. Question is, I believe he and some of these other drivers are on older tires. Corey Heim on fresh sticker tires should be able to help him outrun these guys just a little bit better here throughout this early part of the stage. Again, I'm assuming that most of the teams that did take an extra set of tires in stage 2 opted to put on the scuffs to start this stage as opposed to putting on their last set of sticker tires to start this stage. Because if you put your last set of stickers on now, you're basically killing any shot to actually win the race out in front of the field coming down the stretch. So there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah, again, Ankrum battling it out with Christian Eckes out in front of the field here. Not sure what team Eckes is driving for tonight. Because that 16 car, I don't really remember too much. I've kind of been passive on the Truck Series this year, so I don't know off the top of my head who Eckes. Has Eckes got a win this year? No, he does not. Is Eckes? Oh wait, no. Eckes is a part-time driver. I'm stupid. Yeah, Eckes is a part-time driver because he's full-time in Xfinity. That's why so Eckes wouldn't be one of those that could take the playoff spot. So really, I mean, Garcia should feel pretty safe because none of the people inside the top 5 can take that playoff spot away from him. But here comes Ty Majeski around the outside. His teammate and currently one of the top drivers not with a win yet this year. So Ty Majeski takes his lead, looking for his first win of the season, but he is ahead of Garcia in points, so that would not affect Garcia's point standings. Again, right now, Ben Rhodes would need to finish. I believe right now with where Garcia is running, he could maybe make it work if he finishes second here tonight. And Garcia finishes back down the field like where he's running right now, which is not a good sign for Garcia. He needs to hang on to about a top 10 spot. And say if he holds on to 10th or better, he absolutely ensures himself a spot in 14th. I think the math is still in his favor that he would be in even with a second place finish from Rhodes. And again, second place finish from Rhodes is a little bit speculative at the moment, but again, right now we're working our way through this one, and if I'm Garcia, I am absolutely pushing a bit of the panic button here. Not necessarily to the point where I'm wrecking, but again, with 19 trucks on the lead lap, and all you need to do is finish within 15 positions of second place. So I think you can actually drop back to 7th. I think you can drop back to 16th and still be good with a second place finish. But I don't know. Actually, I don't know how tiebreakers would work. So really, I would just say aim for 15th. If you finish 15th or better, you're probably safe. But I would hate to be the guy trying to call that strategy, and I would not dare tell him that, hey, you're good in 15th, because 15th is a very sketchy spot. So there we go. Again, 162 laps here, working our way through this one. I say they've got a pretty good race going here, honestly. Yeah, it looks like they're getting ready to send this one to another commercial break here. Alright, so again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go. Alright, Sammy Smith just advanced himself up to into the 11th position as we are currently at a full screen commercial break, so I will literally only have lap by lap updates as to what's actually going on. But right now, Ty Majeski is absolutely crushing in terms of the lap sled department. He's led over double the amount of laps Corey Heim has. We've had 11 lead changes, but I think only 2 different drivers have actually led laps. I think it's just been Corey Heim and there might be one additional lap led by somebody further down the field, but yeah, for the most part, it's been just those two. In fact, is there any additional? Oh, yeah, one lap led by Jake Garcia. There was one lap led by someone not named Ty or Corey. So there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. So again, Ty Majeski just crushing it here tonight. Ben Rhodes and Matt Craftsman both inside the top 10, but neither one doing what they need to do to try and make the playoffs here. Trying to make the playoffs is going to be tough, but if you're going to do it, you got to do it quick because, again, you do not want to end up being, you don't want to be that driver to end up missing the playoffs by a singular point if you do get there. But I would like to see at least an effort here. Alright, so we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go. Coming back from commercial break. 82 laps to go. Only 82 more times around. Question is going to end up becoming, can Rhodes get far enough up the grid to start putting the pressure on the driver of that 13 truck who is slipped even further? Or no, sorry, he's held serve in 14th place. I didn't see his number initially, so yeah, there it is. There we go. Again, Corey LaJoy doing a really good job today in 13th place. Sammy Smith not really embarrassing the other two Spire cars the way he was earlier when Corey LaJoy was dueling it out with Rajah Caruth for like 20th. Now all three drivers are within 3 spots of each other. Caruth in 10th, 11th for Smith, and now Jake Garcia just started battling with LaJoy for 13th. There we go. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Bailey Curry just went a lap down, so now we got 18 drivers on the say. Oh, and Tanner Grego's lap down again. They are starting to lap some of those trucks, which will ensure Garcia's not going to fall too far, which is going to put even more pressure on Rhodes and Craftsman inside that top 10 to try and make the push for the win. Again, Giovanni Ruggiero, I don't know what he can do here, but he's stuck in 12th place, and he needs to find a way to win this race if he wants to make the playoffs. I mean, he is a must-win. Yeah, Ben Rhodes, I can do some weird math and bank on a DNF from Garcia, maybe, to give him a points method. With Giovanni, barring a wreck that takes out both Rhodes and Garcia, you're not going to see many avenues for Giovanni to make the playoffs on points. Alright, so there we go. We are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, 75 laps to go. They are closing in on the end of this race in a hurry here. Again, Majeski has been absolutely dominant. He's led the most laps on the day, and in about 5 laps, he will have officially clinched the most laps led on the day, no matter what anyone else does. He could DNF in about 5 laps. He could DNF, and he would still have the most laps led on the day. And to be able to say that before we've even gotten halfway through this final stage. Alright, so there we go. Caden Honeycutt making some moves up inside the top 3. He wants to prove that, hey, I'm here for a championship. He looked pretty good down the stretch in the 45 car. Again, that's what got Toyota knocking or calling on his phone here. There we go. Alright, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Let's see. Pull chat back up so I can actually read chat. But yeah, so 72 laps to go, though. We're kind of falling into this kind of lockstep portion of the race where everybody's just kind of logging laps here. Infinger is going to be the next driver to potentially go a lap off to fall off the lead lap here. It's Infinger, LaJoy, and then Garcia. Garcia is hanging on to a 13th place run, but if Garcia drops off the lead lap, it'll be a really interesting one here. Let's see. Layne Riggs having a very solid 4th place day. He started 3rd, finished 3rd in stage 1, 3rd in stage 2. Wait, did Heim drop all the way to 4th at the end of stage 2? 1 second. Huh? NASCAR! How do you mess this up? How? Layne Riggs got 10th in stage 2, not 3rd. Idiots. Are you kidding me? I was going to say, I thought Corey Heim held on to the 3rd, and I was like, okay, well, maybe Layne Riggs edged him at the line, and Layne Riggs was nowhere close. Are you kidding me? Tanner Gray coming to pit road. Tanner Gray making his pit stop here. Let's say, is this now maybe the time to see some drivers jump into pit road? So yeah, there we go. 66 laps to go here. 67 laps to go. Looks like they're gearing us up for yet another commercial break. And yeah, that was embarrassing there for Fox. All right, there we go. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and mute this chat before it starts getting too active here, at least for 1 hour. 1 hour should be enough to get us to the end of the truck race. Alright, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Yeah, he legitimately said Layne Riggs finished the last stage in third, not 10th. Come on, man. How hard is that to double check before you go and put the stat on the screen? Wasn't it with a stat from years ago that you could have easily just gotten wrong? But nope, it was a stat from a few minutes ago. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, they're at a commercial break, so we don't have much to go off of outside of lap-by-lap updates. Majeski now up to a 3-second lead over Corey Heim and nearly 6 seconds back to Layne Riggs. Barring a rash of cautions, I really don't see any world where Ben Rhodes gets back in the mix here. I think Ben Rhodes kind of got ruined at the stage 2 cautions when that second caution came out and gave everybody else the chance to come to pit road and flip that strategy that allowed them to gain the stage points, and now they're all playing this weird tire game to try and get caught back up. So yeah, definitely a interesting position, but certainly I don't think it's going to be a good one here for Ben Rhodes, unfortunately. All right, 61 laps to go. 61 to go here. All right, we got Majeski, Heim. Heim actually clawing back a little bit at that time. He was at nearly 3 seconds apart. Now he's down to 2.5. He's clawing back on Majeski a little bit, although that could be just because Majeski might have been caught up behind a lap truck, because it looks like this 41 truck is actually looking to try and cause a little bit of trouble here. And here comes Matt Craftsman, the first lead lap truck to jump to pit road here. This is going to be the last chance here. Can Matt Craftsman, last chance to try and make the playoffs here. Matt Craftsman, one last shot. He comes down pit road. He'll get 4 fresh sticker tires here. And yep, you can see the sticker is still on those tires. So this is his final brand new set of tires. Alright, so there we go. 4 fresh tires and Matt Craftsman to the way. And let's see. Will he hold on to it? As I say, we'll have to wait and see if he can make the time necessary with the fresh tires. Because again, everybody else is gonna have fresh tires too. Because everybody else, assuming that they're doing the same strategy, should all have a fresh set of sticker tires available. Alright, so there we go. And here comes Corey Heim jumping to pit road. Corey Heim, Rajah Caruth both jumping to pit road here. There we go. Again, Corey Heim trying to make this earlier pit stop, trying to get on these tires sooner. Again, Corey Heim, one of those drivers that had fresher tires to begin with and should have been able to run longer into this stage, but say for whatever reason, he has just not had the long run speed in his tires. Here comes Layne Riggs down pit road as well. Layne Riggs joining him on pit road. All right, so there we go. Alright, and here comes Honeycutt, Eckes, Smith, Ankrum, all coming to pit road. A lot of drivers jumping on the pit road here. A lot of them jumping to pit road. Heim, I was about to say, if Heim stayed on lead lap, I've been I'm really impressed with the speed of that pit stop if Corey Heim's team managed to stay on the lead lap throughout all that. But yeah, here comes everybody. He's jumping down pit road. I'm curious what the plan on the 98 is. Again, Ben Rhodes, Jake Garcia, neither one of them have come to pit road yet. If I'm Ben Rhodes at this point, do you just stay out as long as humanly possible on your tires and wait for a caution? Because I almost feel like you gotta try something here. Ben Rhodes comes to pit road. Well, I guess I am not the strategist on the 99 car tonight because clearly he's coming to pit road, and I think that is just going to result in a middling finish for, maybe Ruggiero. Maybe Ruggiero will take my strategy opinion here. Okay, Ruggiero, you haven't really had the speed to win all night. Stay out. Maybe you get a caution late and can get a set of fresh tires on there later than everybody else and be able to use fresh tires down the stretch as we get down into the final laps of the race. Caution flag flies! We may have just seen it come. But the question is, what's the cause for the caution? I see the yellow flag flying. And I say, what's going to be the cause of the yellow here? Oh! Matt Crafton just took out his teammate! Matt Crafton just KO'd Ty Majeski. And the 76 of Ryan Roulette goes around as well. But, oh my. Majeski's car isn't too damaged, but man, that was a bad move there. Teammates getting into each other here. So there we go. We're going to have to wait and see how bad some of the damage is because, again, Majeski's car having a really hard time. I'm starting to think maybe that alignment got completely knocked out of whack, because if so, that's going to be day done for both of them. And now Giovanni Ruggiero versus Garcia is going to be an interesting battle down the stretch. Did Garcia jump to pit road before that caution came out? If so, then he might be able to restart with the lead, and if that's the case, that'll be amazing. If he lost the lead lap, that's not good, and that will nullify any good from that. And if he didn't come to pit road, then I don't know what he's doing that far down the list. But again, everybody's gotten their last set of tires. I don't think we see any reason for anyone to pit down the stretch here. But what happened to Matt Crafton there? Did he lose a tire there or something? Because he just comes right up the track and KOs a teammate. I have no idea what Matt Crafton was doing there. I mean, again, it almost looks like he settles into the corner and then just almost either jerks the wheel left or something on that car made the entire car jerk to the left. To the right. So here we go. Coming down into the corner. I'm going to look to see if I can see the hands in the window here. Nope, not that angle. But what on earth was Matt Crafton thinking? Again, just KOs a teammate right there. Granted, that teammate was probably going to prevent him from winning, but with that amount of damage on his rear end, I don't think he's winning regardless. Alright, so there we go. Alright, well, they sawed away basically the entire quarter panel. It won't be fast on its own, but you know how they say short tracks short tracks are a track where aerodynamics don't really matter? Well, we're going to put that to the test here with Matt Crafton. Just completely KOs a teammate there on their way to their first team win of the year. Motorsport as a whole is winless on the year. I have no idea what on earth Matt Crafton was thinking. we go. Alright, so here we go. 47 laps to go here. Again, caution flag is out. Sammy Smith, Majeski. Why is Majeski still being scored second? He is definitely not still in second place. Okay, they're showing him in second place. If he's able to run from that spot, if he's able to come down and get that thing fixed up, but he looked, his car has looked pretty KO'd in almost every camera shot I've seen. Hey, Red Sox win the game. Let's go. Alright, so here we go. Again, we should be getting ready to come back from commercial break here shortly. So there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. We've been at a commercial break for a little while now, so no IndyCar this weekend. They'll return next weekend after Daytona wraps up, and then they've got the season finale the same day as the Southern 500, which is insane. But yeah, here we go. We're back from commercial break. Still showing Sammy Smith and Majeski out in front of the field here. I'm guessing pit road has not been opened yet because Sammy Smith absolutely should have been coming down pit road along with definitely Majeski. But yeah, Sammy Smith, Majeski, Giovanni, Corey LaJoy, those four have got to come to pit road. Everybody from there on back, though, Corey Heim, Layne Riggs, Christian Eckes, I think all can make it on their current fuel loads. But I still cannot figure out what on earth. Alright, so there we go. Okay, they're saying something about Matt Crafton's oil leaking, but I don't say. Maybe that happened after he made contact with the fence, but alright, well, they're gonna have to do a fair amount of track drying to make sure that grease, whatever that rear end grease or something is. Alright, and yeah, Majeski is still out there, currently running in the second or third position here, depending on where he revs up to. But again, we're still waiting to see where they're going to end up getting this one around to. I think Cruz is waiting for the. So yeah, there we go. Pit road is open. Here comes Sammy Smith, Majeski, Eka stays on track, so there we go. Alright, so there we go. Coming down pit road. Majeski, Smith, Layne, Riggs all coming down pit road. Wait, why is Corey Heim on pit road? Wow. Alright, so why is Corey Heim back on pit road here? He should not have been pitting. He already came and got his final set of stickers. Yeah, unless he was double checking to make sure he didn't like run over any track grease or something, which would be a little weird to be worried about. Alright, so again, we are just chilling out here, waiting for this commercial break to be over. Again, we're still we're still stuck here waiting this one out. Wow, TCG is the trading card game is still going on. I will say I love the graphics for the Pokemon trading card game. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are chilling here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, come on. Yeah, we're under commercial break here with 40 laps to go. It's going to be a short sprint to the checkers. Question is, how short of a run are we going to see at the end? Alright, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Ryan, are you going to the Oxford 250 this year? No, I will not be going to the Oxford 250 this year. As I've mentioned a couple of times, I'm going to be playing a Pokemon tournament in Augusta that day, so yeah, I will not be. All right, here we go. Getting ready for the light. No, lights don't go off on the pace car. We're going to go around at least one more time before we open up pit road. Are they going to let that car wave around yet? Actually, none of the leaderboard itself is not updated in a minute. There we go. All right, so there we go. Oh, let's see. All right, right now we're just kind of waiting this one out Come on. I want to know why the leaderboard hasn't updated yet, because there's no way Sammy Smith and Majeski did every lead lap car come to pit road. Can't imagine. Yeah, can't imagine people are actually coming to pit road here. All right, nice. We hear streaming Daytona the night before, but yeah, it won't be at the 250. So here we go. 4 leaders across 12 lead changes. Is Sammy Smith? Did really everybody come to pit? How did the guys like Eckes not? Were they all? Oh, okay, I guess if they were all lap down, they waved around to get back on lead lap, and the guys that hadn't pit, I guess, stayed up there. So I just can't believe that nobody who was on track there didn't. Yeah, none of them managed to. Yeah, that were on pit road there managed to stay on lead lap. But here we go. Sammy Smith, Majeski, the front 2. Here comes Ruggiero, Heim, LaJoy, Riggs. Well, I guess, yeah, guys like Heim should have been able to stay on the racetrack, but Heim came down pit road anyway. Him and Riggs both. So we got an interesting battle near the front. If Ruggiero can take the win here, he would move himself into the playoffs, bumping out Jake Garcia, who restarts back in row number 4. All right, last chance for Ruggiero. It's gonna not a lot of time left. He's gonna have to figure out something quick. Again, he starts inside row 2 here, which has not been a great place to be restarting from throughout the night, but hey, maybe he can figure something out here down the stretch. Here we go, getting ready for this one. All right, pace car is off. Field in the hands of... Here we go. Green, green, green. Green flag is out. We are racing here. 35 laps to go. 35 to go here at Richmond Raceway. And oh, contact! Up the track goes Majeski. Corey LaJoy to the bottom of 3 wide. Corey LaJoy coming out of nowhere, going bottom of 3 wide here. Down into the corner. Majeski with some real car trouble. I'm guessing some residual damage from that contact there. Sammy Smith to the lead. We got Giovanni Ruggiero to second here. Corey Heim on the outside, hanging on to that 3rd position here. But Sammy Smith versus Giovanni Ruggiero down the stretch is going to be an interesting one. Former Toyota prospect versus new Toyota prospect here. Going to be an interesting one down the stretch. 34 laps to go. Again, Giovanni needs to win this race to make the playoffs. Meanwhile, Sammy Smith, he is a part-timer just making a start down here for the experience. There we go. Off the corner, Giovanni not looking like he has a whole lot of momentum on the bottom of the racetrack. And in fact, his teammate Corey Heim on that outside looking like he's going to be able to clear him a lot easier. And there he is. He is able to clear him. All right, there we go. All right, Corey Heim able to clear teammate Giovanni Ruggiero. Again, Sammy Smith. Oh, and here we go. Ruggiero battling back on that inside line. All right, so Giovanni battling it back on the inside line here. This duel, 30 laps to go. If Ruggiero can get past, can get clear of his teammate Heim, I'm curious if he can potentially run down Sammy Smith and possibly fight for the win. Again, it has been a little while since we've seen a Truck Series driver look quite this good this late in the season. Again, Giovanni Ruggiero looking to try and take his first career win and bump Jake Garcia out of the playoffs. Again, I don't know how good Ruggiero will be once he makes it to the playoffs, but if he can get there, you know it'll be a massive feather in his cap going into next year. And certainly something that can be used to lock up his spot. Because again, as we've mentioned, with Caden Honeycutt coming into Toyota next year, odds are it's going to be a Tricon driver Tricon Garage driver coming in, and if it's some, say if Heim gets promoted, that opens up a seat easy for him. If Heim does not get promoted, then the question is, okay, who gets bumped out? Do you maybe give up on Tanner Gray, who's been a little bit disappointing compared to his younger brother? Do you, again, Ruggiero is possibly on that list before tonight, but Ruggiero looking very good tonight. Although he gets loose on the bottom, and now he's got the 98 of Majeski underneath him. And he jumps down in front of the 34 of 34 Layne Riggs here, making a aggressive chop to go ahead and at least get himself in line. 27 laps to go, and oh, yep, he just gets put. As Layne Riggs dives up the inside and just, he gets that nose in there and wedges past him. So Ruggiero, I don't know if he used up too much early in that run, but he does not have the same speed he had a few minutes ago. So there we go. Again, Jake Garcia's got to be breathing a sigh of relief because with that, with that move there, assuming Giovanni doesn't get his second wind and start passing guys, Garcia can breathe a sigh of relief. He will be in the playoffs, barring some crazy scenario where Giovanni gets his second win. Because if Giovanni doesn't win, your next possible winner that could bump him out would be teammate Ben Rhodes behind him in 10th. And for Rhodes to all of a sudden get the speed to pass 10 cars or 9 cars in 25 laps, that would be insane. Again, Garcia currently holds now a 21-point lead with the points as they run. First time I think NASCAR has shown the points as they run all night. I would love to have been able to put them on screen for you guys, but nope. Here we go, 24 laps to go. Again, all Jake Garcia needs to do is sustain. He doesn't need to do anything impressive. He can just chill out right in 7th place, hang out, hopefully don't wreck, and keep this one coming home clean. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Only 14 cars on the lead lap. So again, even if Garcia were to drop to the rear of the field, as long as he doesn't go a lap down, he has a guarantee that he'll be in the playoffs. As long as there's no new winner. So again, new winner is all that he has to be worried about. And with Sammy Smith leading, that's not a full-time driver. Corey Heim, obviously not a new winner, and Majeski's ahead of him in points already, so that would not affect the finish either. So he really is in a position where he just has to sit back and watch and hope that, again, someone like Giovanni doesn't get a second wind here. And Sammy Smith out in front of the field trying to prove he belongs in the NASCAR ranks with a win. It's been a minute since he got an Xfinity Series win. He does have a couple of them on his belt, but it has been a hot minute, and now he is out here. He's out here in the Truck Series trying to prove that he does belong. But there we go. Corey Heim gets around him as they come up to Tony Breitinger, who would be another one of those drivers possibly on that cut list there for if you were looking for a driver to potentially cut as a full-time driver to move up a spot. Now, again, I would hate to see that for Breitinger because I think she has a lot of potential. It just needs time, but we've seen it in the past. Toyota has been impatient when it comes to especially when they are looking to acquire a prospect. They would rather get their new prospect into a seat versus allowing the other one to go on their own terms. I mean, look at Matt Kenseth when they replaced him with Eric Jones. When Matt Kenseth probably only really had maybe 1 or 2 more good seasons in him anyway. They cut him they cut him to move Eric Jones in-house instead of waiting and letting Matt retire on his own terms. And there's been a number of other prospects like that when when they get a new driver, they're very much impatient. They're a little bit impatient to get them in there. Similarly, look at Daniel Suarez when he he was moved up the ranks very quickly, but as soon as as soon as Toyota was able to get Martin Truex Jr. under contract for Joe Gibbs Racing, he was out. So again, Toyota would be the driver I would. Toyota would be the team I would say that would be most likely to give up on a prospect a little early. Although I can't think of too many drivers that have actually succeeded after leaving the Toyota system. I mean, obviously Joey Logano would be the big, bright, shining example from over a decade ago of Joe Gibbs and Toyota giving up on a prospect too early. But I mean, that would be the only, I think, real example of a driver who really succeeded too much post their Toyota tenure. Now, obviously, there's some drivers who could still stand out, but there we go. Alright, so we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. 13 laps to go. Corey Heim out ahead of Ty Majeski here by 1.1 seconds here. Coming up on Ryan Roulette. Got to get by him safely. There we go. Gets by Ryan Roulette. Now now we got the 98 coming up behind him. The 98 is closing. The question is, does the 98 have that speed left in it? Obviously, it has some bent fenders after that fender bender with the 88. All right, so again, he's been quietly gaining this, shrinking this gap here over the last 3 laps. Again, 1.08 between them right now. And the biggest thing is just that they keep coming up on lap trucks and being able to use lap trucks to potentially slow down the car behind you. Again, Spencer Boyd there got out of the way of the 11 pretty good, and it doesn't look like he's going out of his way to make Majeski's day harder, but he has not done much to make Majeski's day easier here. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. There we go. Corey Heim clears yet another lap car here. Majeski having a little bit more trouble with where he's catching these lap cars. And Corey Heim, I think Corey Heim has this one in the bag. He's got 8 laps to go. He's been able to stick Garcia behind some of these lap cars here, and it's going to be an interesting one down the stretch here. So again, right now, Jake Garcia, a massive points lead over the bubble. In fact, again, he does not have to worry at all about this bubble, about the points bubble at this point. As long as he finishes on the lead lap, he will be part of the Truck Series playoffs. So congratulations to Jake Garcia on the playoff berth here. Again, barring anything drastic in these last few minutes. 5 laps to go. All right, here we go. Corey Heim. 5 laps to go. 5 more times around for Corey Heim. Oh, okay, I guess maybe. Where is Corey? All right. I guess maybe not. All right, let's see. Where is Corey at on track? Here we go. Down the back straightaway. Here we go. 5 laps to go for Corey Heim. 5 laps to go for Corey Heim, and he is now up to a 1.5 second gap here. Battle between, Yeah, Ben Rhodes is trying to get to his teammate, but barring wrecking his teammate out of this race, there's not going to be a method for Rhodes to get to the playoffs without a win. And Rhodes trying to charge through the field is going to take time, and he does not have that kind of time. So, barring a caution, it's going to take wrecking his teammate, being the caution, as his only way to make it to the playoffs at this point. Corey Heim out in front of the field, coming to 3 laps to go. Corey Heim, 3 laps to go at Richmond here. The final Truck Series race of the regular season. Majeski, the dominant car of the night, currently sat back there a second and a half off the lead after contact with a teammate. A really rough night here for Ty Majeski. We've got Layne Riggs, who has had a very quiet and consistent day in the 3rd position. Yeah, and then honestly, a really good recovery drive here from the Spire Motorsports team. You got Sammy Smith and Corey LaJoie up into the top 5. Good job on them. Obviously, the big news of the night has been the battle for the final playoff spot. Jake Garcia came in with an 11-point gap over his teammate Ben Rhodes for the playoff spot, and for a minute it looked like Giovanni Ruggiero might be able to win his way there, but ultimately he stalled out. White flag is out for Corey Heim. Ben Rhodes ultimately just did not have the kind of points day he needed, and Garcia was amazing at racing in the stages. So, big wiggle right ahead of Corey Heim, but Corey Heim looks like he will go ahead and take this one to the house. Corey Heim will be your race winner here at Richmond. First time he's won it. Oh, he got loose there as he came across the line, but Corey Heim wins it. Majeski 2nd, Riggs 3rd. Sammy Smith and LaJoie will round out your top 5. And Jake Garcia will clinch his spot in the Truck Series playoffs. Good job, Garcia, and race winner, Corey Heim. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you guys did, I will see. If you guys just came for the race reaction, that is the race reaction. But as per usual, we will go through the full finishing order. But again, thank you guys for everybody that's decided to be a part of tonight. Because again, these streams are always a ton of fun to do. So hopefully you enjoy them. We had 7 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for everybody that decided to spend a portion of your day here with us. All right, so let's go ahead and go down through it. Leaderboard. But yeah, there's Corey Heim burning it down on the front stretch. So we got Corey Heim, Ty Majeski, Layne Riggs. We kind of already went through a lot of these. Sammy Smith and LaJoie. I gotta mention that again because those two have a really good day today. Giovanni Ruggiero, if he could have, if he could have found a way to make that win happen, he would have absolutely stunned the world. But ultimately comes home 6th, not gonna be enough for a playoff berth. Jake Garcia, though, 7th place is going to be enough for him. He's going to the playoffs. He's going to go postseason racing at the expense of 8th place finisher Ben Rhodes, who will not be a part of that playoff conversation. 2-time truck champion, but this was not his year. He comes up short, and he will go ahead and he will be subject to watching his teammate Jake Garcia race for the final spot in the playoffs. And they are parking the 17 in 13 right next to each other. Chandler Smith coming home in the 9th position, and Caden Honeycutt rounding out your top 10 finishers. Good day for Caden Honeycutt. He ran pretty well there throughout that one. In the 52 truck. Definitely looks like he'll be able to contend for a championship there, and obviously he'll be trying to get him a driver's owner's championship along with the driver's one. Corey Heim handing the flag back to the official, who I believe is going to give it to a fan for him. Yep, there we go. Hands it off to a fan. But yeah, so Tyler Ankrum, 11th. 12th place was Christian Eckes. 13th for Grant Imfinger. Yeah, 14th is where we find Tanner Gray, the first driver who was off the lead lap. Yeah, 15th will be Carson Quapple. 16th, Brent Cruz, driving car number 1 tonight. Matt Mills in the 17th position. 18th for Connor Mosak. 19th, Raja Karuth. And running up the top 20 will be Bailey Curry, driving the number 45 truck. Yeah. Andres Perez de Lara with his new team comes home 2 laps off the pace. In first. 22nd for Luke Fenhaas in 22nd. Patrick Staropoli coming home in the 23rd position. 24th for Tony Breitinger. 25th for Matthew Gold. Yeah, and there's the fan running off with the checkered flag. Nice to see. Yeah, Matthew Gold in the Nissan Motorsports truck comes home 3 laps off the pace in 25th. 26th was Matt Crafton. Just he had a really bad spin in the oil. Once they mentioned that it was oil, makes a lot more sense. Because again, that did not look good initially, but again, it makes a lot more sense after you hear that. So again, unfortunate day for Matt Crafton. He's had a rough season. Hopefully, he'll be able to find a win somewhere. As they're going to go ahead and talk with Jake Garcia, who is going to make it to the Truck Series playoffs. Nick Light's coming home 27th, 28th for Spencer Boyd. Ryan Roulette, 29th. And running out your top 30 will be Caleb Costner for Mike Harmon Racing. Dawson Sutton, 31st. 32nd, Frankie Muniz. Daniel Hemrick comes home in the 33rd position. And then Stephen Malazzi comes home 34th, 245 laps off the pace. He only completed 5 laps on the day. 3 more laps than his teammate Clayton Green completed as he finishes 35th and last on the day. 248 laps off the pace. A really unfortunate day for the guys out of the Rayum Brothers shop. Hopefully, they'll see some improvement throughout the final few races of the playoffs. But until next time, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy these videos and live streams, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. I guess we still have to wait and see if Garcia passes tag inspection. We're not going to stay live for that, but assuming he doesn't, assuming he passes tag inspection, he will go ahead and he will be competing in the Truck Series playoffs, as he will be a part of the round of 10, starting 10th in points there with only 2 playoff points to his name. But I will see you guys in the next video. Live stream if you guys had to do with the rest of your night. Again, I will be back tomorrow with my dad for the Cup Series stream. But until next time, hopefully you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys next video. Live stream if you guys had to do with the rest of your night. Have a great night, everybody, and goodbye.